Hello everyone, here we go with another video of our 365 days data science challenge. And in this video, I'm gonna cover tuple data type. Well, what is that? It is another data type that can allow you to store multiple items or numbers in a single variable. In the last video, we have discussed list data type. One of the differences between tuple and list data type is that tuple data type cannot be changed. That means it's not mutable like the list data type. However, tuple data types, it has the advantages like allowing duplicate values or ordering or some other stuffs like list. So we'll show that with some examples. So at first, let me show you how can you create a tuple data type. So here I have a variable called T1. What you can see I have three characters like cricket, football, tennis. And if I run the variable, here we got my result. Now guys, look at that very carefully. Here we have used open and closed first bracket to define the tuple data type. However, in the list data type, we have used third brackets. So that's one difference between tuple and list data type. And if I ask like Python, hey, what is the type of my variable 1? Here you can see it giving me the result as tuple. That means it's a good going right now, okay? And then we have, let's create another variable like T2 which contain numbers and which is another tuple data type. So here let me run that again to see the type. Here you can see my type is saying as tuple again. Okay, great. Now let's create another variable called T3 which contain both numeric and characters. So for example here cricket is cricket is character, 53 is numeric, and 3J which is a complex data type which we have learned earlier, right? So here let me run that and let me ask what is T3. It should give me the result, and here we got it. Now if I ask what is the type of T3, it says tuple. Okay, good. So the good news is that tuple can contain all types of data like the list data structure. Then tuple can be ordered. For example, in the T2 we have three numbers which is not following any order here. However, there is a function that called sorted. If I use the sorted function here and if I run this by calling T2 variable, now you can see it is following a sequence starting from lowest number 32, then 43, then 3 to 1. That means tuple can be ordered. Now let me see if I can access tuple items. Well, that means let's call the variable T3 which contain three possible items, and from these three possible items here, let's say I want to have the last value. One way to have the last value is counting from 0, 1 and then 2 from the starting point. Another way which we have not learned yet is that you can use negative symbol to call the last items. Okay, so if I mention the -1, it means it will give me the last items. If I use the -2, it will give me the last second items. That's how it goes. Okay, so let me run that and let me see what's coming out. So here you can see I got 3J which is the last item of T3. So one interesting fact here guys, while counting backward, it is counting a normal way, that means not counting from 0. However, while counting forward, that means which is the usual way of counting, it counts from 0. There's a rule of Python. Okay, so don't be confused with that guys. Okay, so here now if I call the first item, that means I'm not using any negative symbol here, I want to count in usual way. So if I use T3 and then third bracket 0, that means I want to access the first item of T3. and we got the cricket, which is the first item. Okay, so yeah, so that's a little bit of way you can learn counting, or you can access tuple items. Now later on, we have another important fact. We mentioned that tuples are unchangeable, so you cannot replace or remove any items. So for example, let's say I want to replace the first item of t3 variable by using another character safe. Now if I run that, you can see it's not working. It says tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, so that's a bad news about tuple compared to other data structure, specifically list. And then guys, as I mentioned, there are some other functionalities which you can use for all the data types or many data types. For different data types, the way of using function might be different. So for example, there is a function called remove. You can use it for list data type as well. So if I want to remove any item from the t3 variable, I'm calling the remove function here, and I want to remove 53, which is the second item of our t3 variable. And now if I hit the run button, it says that tuple object has no attribute remove. That means remove is not working for the tuple. And the reason I'm trying to show that, I'm trying to show you that tuple does not support replacing or remove any items. Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit ideas about tuple, and there are some other functions as well. Like for example, we have learned the length. So if I use len, like the list data type we have learned, here it's working as well. So it says that t1 has a length of 3 items, which means you can go back to the t1, you can see here you have 3 characters. Similarly, there are another function called count. So if I use the count for the t3 variable, that means I want to count in the t3 how many times I have 53. Well, it says 53 is only one time in t3 variable, which you can confirm here by looking at the t3 variable. Okay, so that's a little bit ideas about different options available in the tuple data type. Thank you very much.